Hi, everybody. It's your favorite girl, Elena, here to play your favorite water witch, Remy.
Hi, guys. My name is Kyle. I play Oswald.
Hi, I'm Britton, and I play Michael.
Hi, I'm Allie. I play River, and I will also be your game goddess. Let's get this show started. We fall into the city of Eden, a no longer thriving post-apocalyptic cyberpunk city. It's kind of more in ruins now. LED lights more flashing than staying bright and vibrant. Super mutants running throughout the lower districts of Eden. Monster noises a little bit everywhere in the distance. You can hear a hum from outside of the walls of Eden that could be probably one of the horror mutants. Never know. But where we find ourselves is in a dark lab in Adam and Eve University. A storm starts arriving, starting to clear off all of the dryness, all of the blood and gore that this city has seen. And we hear a thunder crack, and then a nice little shard of lightning falls down as the lightning lights up the face of Johnny. Mappy, would you describe Johnny for us?
Johnny's sitting in the lab, making notes, looking the microscope. He's seated right now. If you had to guess, he's probably about 6 feet tall, kind of wiry, weighing in, if you had to take a guess at it, about 160 pounds. Shaggy, kind of dirty blonde hair, brown eyes. Looks like he's up at night a lot, though, in his lab.
Now, around him, would he be on a computer or would he be working with the chemicals themselves right now?
He would be working with the chemicals and have his notebook beside him, kind of scratching out notes as he works on the serum that is his life goal.
Okay, so the serum that you're working on kind of has this mysterious sort of orangish hue to it. It glows sometimes in the light. It depends on what additives you add into it. Right now it does have a soft glow to it. Are you testing on anything today, or are you just messing around with the formula itself?
Messing around with the formula, introducing some dead tissue just to see what effects it would have.
Okay. So can you roll?
Mm-hmm. What would you like to roll?
I don't know. Give me a second. Please hold. Please hold. DM not prepared.
God, what a James.
Fuck you. Now I'm gonna have to edit that shit.
You should just have God, what a, and then just bleep.
Give me a treatment check.
Ooh, I don't think we've ever done a treatment check before.
Yeah,
that's
River
gonna
does
be
them all
a
the time.
33.
Wow. Okay, now give me an intellect check along with that.
Just a standard intellect check.
Yep, just a standard.
Ooh, that's a 19. That's not a... No. Got distracted by
That was a
something.
natural 1 plus 18?
Yeah.
Yes.
Johnny is as broken as all of you.
No, as broken as Oswald. I am not broken.
Remy's a bit broken.
God damn it. I tried so hard.
Did you?
Yes.
So, all right. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a grace period because even at your nat 1, you're a 19. So When you put the serum on the dead tissue and look into the microscope, you can see these cells starting to bond and form. Now, due to Adam and Eve's specialized scientific equipment, you can actually see DNA strands within certain microscopes, because that's the only way you're going to actually be able to understand the mutant gene and find it, is when you're able to actually see the actual DNA strands within a microscope. That's just how that's going to work, because I'm the DM and I can do whatever I want. And
Science.
So they developed these, and you got your hands on one. So this is basically your baby. You use it all the time. And you can see the strands sort of intermingle with the dead tissue. And then the orange kind of just like gets a little brighter and a little brighter. And then it sort of heats up. You can like step away from the microscope and you'll see the steaming coming from it. And then like the DNA strand by itself dies. It does need something living to attach itself to, but if you want to give me another intellect check, I can give you an idea of what you think the hypothesis happened here.
36, that's better.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so what you can tell is the power that would have melded with the tissue was going to be something of a fire element. It was either going to be fire element or just like a heat in general, some form of a heat mutation power. And because of that, the cells heated up too quickly. They were dead. They couldn't like latch onto it. Now, if you want to try a living thing, there are several of the tester animals, but you don't have to if you don't want to fire rabbit, but that's on you.
Wait, he's testing on animals?
They're going to, it's a science thing, my love. I don't approve of it. It's a science thing.
This makes me
I'm going to
sad.
opt not to, having seen that. Because
Okay.
Johnny's ultimate goal is to really figure out, what he's trying to do here is figure out a way to basically use gene therapy.
Got it.
To give people the option of how to become a mutant if they so chose. That's his end goal, is to be able to create a mutant, even if that mutant is himself. But every single one of these times that he sees this, he's got to be learning a little bit more and seeing a little bit more about where the gene that causes these mutations would lie within the genome and how that could possibly be done.
Now, would your laptop be open at all?
Laptop, probably not open at this point. Probably just making notes in the notebook.
Okay. All right, cool. Need to know if I could roll for advantage of that or not. So, this night goes on for a few more hours. Would you say Johnny falls asleep in the lab, or do you think he does leave at some point?
Based on the surreptitious nature of his work, he would probably, in the wee hours of the morning, tidy up and kind of pack things up. Because he's not supposed to be in a lab right now at all.
Well, you have to also remember Adam and Eve is right now pretty much shut down. There is no one around, so that lab could technically be his lab now.
Yeah. Let's say he has a cot in the lab. And he's just sleeping in there.
Yeah, that happens.
Love that for you.
I had a professor who had a cot in his office.
That's sad.
Well, it's because he lived in New Jersey and he would only sleep there on days where it would snow. Or he had a function or something.
All right. So, that's sad still. So, as you study and work throughout the night, it gets later and later into early morning. And we shift over to the Lancaster Manor, where River, Oswald, Remy and Michael are. Now, for if any of the listeners here, Oswald or Kyle will not be joining us today. He doesn't feel well. And if he does pop in, then he'll pop in. However, because of this, Oswald is decided that Remy, River, and we're going to test Michael's ability to work as a team, because that is still up in the air, to go and maybe try and find Johnny over here. So Oswald has opted to stay back, stay on computers. He is having a Shade and Oswald day, which they very much deserve. They haven't had one in a very long time. And that's just what's going to happen today. Next time, Kyle will be back. Yay!
Huzzah!
So, well, it's about 8 a.m., I would say, when we find ourselves back at the Lancaster Manor. This was about a day ago that we had that conversation with Edmund about Johnny to begin with. And Edmund has said that he was going to come back with some information for us. Now, prior to recording, I did roll 2 dice for Edmund, and he is going to call the entire server room now. And depends on if either of you, or do you want River to answer it, or Data can answer it, or anyone else.
Okay, I want to answer the phone.
Remy wants to answer it?
Bring.
All right, so as you answer it, the holographic full image of Edmund kind of pops up, and he sees River. Michael, are you in there with them once the phone rings?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He sees River, Michael, Remy. He also sees Data and Rodney. All 5 of them are there. And he just looks down to the person that answered the phone and just goes, "Hello, Remy. Lovely to see you."
Sorry, I'm not interested in a car's extended warranty.
Remy, I have information for you on Johnny.
Oh, it's a British feller.
You just
Kyle,
told me
was
yesterday, Edmund, but you never asked fully for my name, but that's fine.
How's it going, Edward?
Hun, I do believe you get like this when you're flustered. Are you quite alright?
No, everything's tip-tap here. As she, hears in the background giggling of Oswald and Shane, and it makes her uncomfy. We all know they're cuddling.
Yes. Oswald's asexual.
Yes.
They're cuddling. So,
but
Edmund,
still, it makes her...
Edmund just looks down at Remy and then smirks over at Michael and River, and he goes, "Well, I have some information for you that I do hope that it helps. Again, I am quite sorry for asking you to do this task again. I know we still aren't in the best sorts." So,
Still not trusting.
You just
Still
nodding.
I'm still not trusting you, but yes.
You just nodding, Michael. Yeah, okay, all right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Sure.
So, Michael, I love Michael so much. The others don't yet. I do.
That's because we have trauma-based fear around new people.
Whose fault was that? Wasn't me. All right, so he looks over to Data and he goes, "May I please have control of the computer just to put in some files? I promise I won't mess with anything else." And Data goes, "Can you put it in a Dropbox instead, please? I would rather you not go into our full system." And he goes, "Oh yes, of course, a Dropbox." And within seconds, you see a little ping, and it's Adam and Eve, kind of like the key card reports. And Johnny, for my information, would you have taken somebody else's key card so it looks like you're going in as somebody else's name? Or would you have be using your key card?
I would be using someone else's key card.
Okay, so I asked because I was like, Johnny's smart enough.
Johnny would not be using his own key card. In fact, he probably, just based on his skills, convinced someone else to let him use their key card.
Okay, so they have like some camera footage, they have some key card records. And he's just like, unfortunately, this was all we were able to get up, but there is something odd that I would like to show. And you see somebody's name on the key card reports once it's open. Like it's just a name that's like, oh god, now I have to think of a name.
John Doe.
No, I was going to say, like, Steve Donovan. And it's just a bunch of Steves, or, like, Donovan, S. Donovan, S. Donovan, S. Donovan, less, like, everywhere. And he goes, but it's funny, because if we look on the cameras, and while he says that, Data, like, clicks open the cameras, you can see, there's only, like, maybe 8 hours of footage. Can you give me an intellect check or a sleight of hand checked, Johnny?
Let's go. We're gonna go intellect.
You're like, that's my good stat.
26.
Okay,
Not
so
my best roll, but
yeah, so there's only around. Let me get my favorite 2 dice. There's only around 30 hours of footage, and that's because it only took a day for Johnny to realize, hey, there's a camera up there. I should probably just, like, dismantle that. So he was just like, there's only 30 hours of footage on this camera. However, if you look at this time where S. Donovan comes in, you see this lovely little bloke right here. And you see Johnny, like, poking his head out, looking in the hallways before, like, scampering off to, like, probably go to the restroom or something and scamper back in, to which you see, like, the S. Donovan, like, time stamps matching. He goes, I think the smart little blugger got a hold of somebody else's key cards. It's quite intelligent. However, if you could get him to us, that would be quite lovely.
Michael will speak up at that. What is your plans for him exactly?
Yeah, what he said.
Oh, it's nothing bad. River's just like, okay. He's like, it's nothing bad per se. Nothing bad at all. We honestly just really love his cause. We really like him making something to really help show our perspective, if you will. Yeah, he just goes, we just want to talk about the perspective. Just the perspective.
Perspective of us mutants? Or
Yes, I mean, I don't know if they have powers. Do you know they have powers? I mean, most people look so dormant, and then they just, like, poof, they're, like, incredible. And look at you 3. Look at you 5, actually. Oof, lots of power in here. Right? I am going to need everybody, including me, Rodney, and Data, to make a, let's do a will save at that.
Gross.
do I need to do a will save?
No, you are not in the room, my friend.
Good.
You are sleeping, waiting for the sun to go down because the sun hurts your eyes.
That'll happen when you spend too much time in lab.
I probably did not pass. I got a 5 + 9, 14.
All right, well, River got a 1, so River's enjoying this. Actually, Data was the only one that passed that. So
Oh,
go
what a
Data.
babe.
So Data, everyone else is just like, oh, we're powerful. But Data is just like, so it's just more of a perspective thing. I mean, sure, his work seems interesting, but it doesn't seem like you're not interested in using him for bad. In like that's the way he says it. And anyone can make an insight check at any point, by the way. You are more than welcome to. This is an insight and investigation,
Nope.
whatever you feel is fit.
I got to 22 on insight.
I'm gonna put this away.
Insight check this bitch. I was waiting to say, can I roll an insight check? I do not believe this fuckhead.
Alright, so Michael, last time you did an insight check, unfortunately, you saw him being really calm and cool. Like, there was nothing wrong with the situation at all. He just really wanted this guy. Even with the intellect check, or the insight check being so high, he still seems pretty calm and collected. He does seem a little bit more urgent this time around, and that's about it. If you want to do, remember, because you guys are so powerful, I have to make the dice DCs like a little bit higher. If you want to do an investigation or perception check to like maybe more see into his body language, that's more than okay. And I want to clock the fact that. All right, bitch. I was going to say, I want to clock the fact that Elena didn't even say her roll.
Well, it wasn't going to work. I got a 3 + 6, a 9.
No, that was perfect.
You see nothing.
You see a nice British grandpa.
Oh, he's a grandpa?
I said he's a grandpa, and you
Yes, he's
got
an
all
old
flustered
guy.
from his voice. I never said he was hot.
Okay, listen. According to Sean Connery, grandpas can even be had.
Oh, 20,
all right.
23
All right.
total.
Okay, so a natural 20. He's tense. He's tense today. He is a little bit more on edge than he was the other day when you saw him. I'm trying to figure out how much to give you with this nat 20, because you get like a fair amount. Like, you can clock him. Due to your background, you understand manipulation tactics, and whether or not which way you want to go with this depends on you. In your heart and soul, you do think you do indeed need to get Johnny, whether it's to give it to them or keep him away from these guys. That's another thing altogether. But yeah, Edmund's looking a little bit tense today. He's definitely not soothing and as smooth as he was. And that's about where you're at right now. Yeah.
I will keep this all to myself until after this conversation is done.
Okay.
It's not like we tell each other everything. Gosh.
Oh yeah. We tell each other everything on this podcast. I have decided secretly at some point I'm going to make you guys do a collaborative truth thing. It's going to be fun for the entire family.
Listen, I don't remember all of the lies that Remy has told, so this is not going to work.
Okay, so the guy goes, so I believe tonight would probably be the best time to like get ready, but if you do want to scoundrel together something, that would probably be for the best. We really cannot wait to see him and talk to him about his work.
And Where exactly is this drop point at that you want us to drop him off at?
I mean, it's Adam and Eve University. You two have a good roundabout. I mean, you might not. He, like, gestures to River, and River goes, I've been there once, and I was in a depression blanket.
I gave you a tour.
Remy, we were in a bad situation. You think my trauma remembers any of that?
Yes, I gave you a tour.
Remy, my trauma was through the roof. I'm still not okay.
I gave you a tour.
Remy, I was in a depression blanket. I was
then-
a literal depression burrito.
Remy goes up and then just grasps the side of River's head and she goes, I gave you a tour.
River kisses Remy's nose.
River just goes, wipes off her nose and she goes, you know I can't handle affection this early in the morning. I told you that when you were trying to cuddle me.
Like, I am touch starved.
Oh god.
Oh god. Zach in the back. Wait. After he just like wants to make sure he's sitting there, he goes, so you will go and grab Johnny for us tonight, yes? Like, we all confirming that together?
Yeah, we'll go get him. We'll go find him.
Okay, lovely. I will come back tomorrow to your lovely humble abode, and I will come and collect him. I hope he will not be too much trouble for you. And then the call turns off.
Okay.
Unplugging whatever the fuck it is that he called on real quick, just in case.
You're unplugging the computer?
Is it was from a computer or was it from the TV?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was like a Zoom call, holographic messaging FaceTime system.
It was a fancy Zoom.
It was a fancy Zoom.
I am unplugging it real quick.
You unplug it and Data goes, hey!
1 second, Data.
The IT guy in me just cried a little bit.
Michael's not the smartest. Let's put that in perspective.
I lean over to Data and I go, I know that this usually works when we have computer problems, but I feel like this is a little overly dramatic.
Fucking Data's in the corner going, no! What did you do? And he's just like hurrying to put him back in, like, don't lose everything!
Something's up here. I don't think they're gonna.
Is it the sky?
Allie, shut the fuck up.
I can't help it. I'm River right now.
Allie, shut the fuck up. I know
I get
that's
to be
exactly
full
what you're
River next episode. I get to be full River. Yeah.
And then Remy turns to River and goes, this is not the time for puns.
As one's away, the river must play.
Oh no. Oh no.
It is not the sky, but something's up with them.
Edmund?
Yes.
Alright.
He seemed different than last time we talked to him. Body language said that he was a little bit tense and something's wrong. They want to use Johnny for something else.
What? I mean, I didn't pick up anything body language wise, but also his voice definitely would put me to sleep in like 10 seconds, guys. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, when would we ever trust anything that someone's like Peter's henchman would ever tell us?
I mean, he didn't destroy us last time.
Yeah, just because you do one nice thing doesn't make you not a supervillain.
Yeah, but like, I feel like we should probably still help this guy because, like, you know.
Yeah, we help this guy and we take him here.
Would you help the cronies who work for Astoria?
If they're willing to not kill me, yeah.
I look over to Remy, just kind of like cock my eyebrow at her.
River does the
Remy's confused.
River does the presenting of the Will Smith to Jada meme and goes, "You already know where he's from."
I'm confused.
Yes.
You figured it out.
I used to work for Astoria.
I turn and I'm just like the what? Kind of like look and motion.
Yeah, he worked for Astoria. Like, that's literally huge. I mean, Celeste also worked for Astoria. Let's stop for a second.
Okay, but listen, Celeste proved her worth and that she wasn't a double agent, and I turn and I look at her and I'm like, you're not a double agent, crap.
Celeste looks over at you and goes, "I'm Jake Gold."
And then she goes, "See, we got proof." She's fine.
Yes, I just worked in a little bit different entity than her.
Yeah, different fields. It wasn't anything like horrible, but
Different
I do think
strokes for different folks.
Yeah, different kinks.
Yeah.
I love this show. Oh god, you guys screw me up all the time. So River kind of sits back and goes, "Well, I still think we need to get him here. My hope is that he isn't going to be wily, and that's my only hope." Remy, do you know this guy? Because he sounds like he worked basically in your department adjacent from you.
Can I get a blown up picture of him and maybe I can tell?
The only picture you're able to find is that image that is paused on the 30 hours of video that you were able to have of him peeking out the door.
So can I roll a perception to see if I can tell who it is?
Yeah, you can roll me a perception.
Because if it's grainy, it'd be a little hard. Well, that is a 17 plus 8, 25.
Yes. Yes, you know exactly who Johnny is. If you want to share it with the class and be like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly where he'd be," then go for it.
So as she's leaning up and she's looking, and then she's like, "Is that?" No. And she's like, "Oh no." And she's like, "We definitely gotta do something about this. If they get it, if he this guy right here, Johnny, we like to call him Slender Man, because he's 8 feet tall." And this is coming from one of the tallest females in the room, because Remy's fucking huge, and she's like, "This guy is how would I he is the mixture of an Albert Einstein, a Stephen Hawking, and a little bit of a third world dictator all in one."
Oh, I love him.
So, essentially, if he's gonna be working for Peter, that would essentially kill everybody. So we gotta not have that happen.
So we should probably get him.
Yes.
Yes.
Get him, bring him here, and he can hopefully help us out.
All right, cool. I guess let's get everything together. River gets up and goes to the garage and kind of informs Zach of what's going on. Zach agrees not to come this time. He thinks River's okay now, and he trusts at least Remy in the group. He does also trust Michael, but it's like a bro kind of. Let me roll for something for Zach real fast. 6. So many 6s. I chose the wrong number on my tattoo. So Zach isn't able to get to you, Michael. That was what that roll was for. He was going to be like, hey, can you find out if River likes me? He was not able to catch you. You are too busy with something else.
So
I'm
then
going
the
to get
level
some gear
of
together. I was getting gear together.
so
Just in
they
case
are
something
right.
Stupid happens.
They are right now the level of 2 bros 5 feet apart in a hot tub because they're not gay, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Aha!
I don't
However,
know. No, that's how Zach is. Michael's like, I'll sit right next to you. I don't give a fuck.
no, Zach is also like he's a little bit more on the Matthew side of Metro. He will drink an oat milk latte and not give a fuck.
Interesting.
He will admit to a guy being sexy. He does not care.
Hey, I do that too. Except I drink my coffee black.
As I sit here drinking my peppermint mocha.
Y'all and your coffee.
You can't have coffee. You're not allowed.
No.
Well, I don't drink
That would
it
be
because
kind of funny.
Well, I don't drink it because I am the kind of human that realizes that it's poison.
God bless. Thank God. Finish it quicker. So, as the day goes on, would you guys like to tell me what kind of supplies you may have brought with you
I will
on
be
this
grabbing,
fun endeavor?
I will be grabbing at least a pistol and a knife of sorts, just in case.
Okay. Remy?
I will probably be bringing my water jug.
Okay.
Because she still doesn't have that ability of where she can pull water from the air yet, but she's getting there. She's probably going to bring her student ID if she still has that.
Your student ID does not work.
Okay. I wasn't sure because...
One, I don't think you have it anymore. And two, remember that time when James was still the GM and Oswald accidentally deleted you from Adam and Eve University?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So then she wouldn't have her student ID. She could probably take her dad's ID.
I think Oswald accidentally deleted.
Was it both of us?
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah,
So
I think it
then-
was both actually.
Okay. So then she's
Still
gonna
a
take
very
her.
moment.
She's gonna take her water jug. She is going to dress in her usual sneaky outfit. You know.
The all black Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, all black Scarlett Johansson fishtail beanie, and those boots. Oh, boots. And then that's probably it. She wouldn't take anything else. She's a deadly weapon just as herself.
Yeah. River is bringing a flashlight.
Boring.
Because shit gets dark and everywhere we go is dark because that's the aesthetic I'm into. So a flashlight. She is also bringing her throwing knives, which she has only used once. And also she took one of Shade's lock-picking kits. Okay, so as night comes around, it's probably around 5:30, Johnny, and the sun is starting to go down. Would you say this would be the time that he probably would have woken up because he's been up all night the night prior?
Yeah, he's starting to wake up. Probably, brewing a pot of coffee, eating a granola bar.
Okay. I will say for funsies that you found a way to hack the snack machine at Adam and Eve University, and that's kind of what you've been living off of. Because I think that's funny. So you literally just push buttons and food pops out for you.
Sweet. So he's coming back from the snack machine with a handful of granola bars and Skittles and stuff and whatever else they have at Adam and Eve. He's also getting food for the lab animals as well, wherever that is. He's taking care of them.
Would you call them lab rats?
I mean, there would be a variety of lab animals. I'm assuming there would be rabbits and rats and probably a monkey.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
rabbits and rats and reptiles and just like a lot like fish, a little bit of that too.
Sure.
There's some ferrets. There's a chinchilla that is the pet chinchilla that nobody hurts. His name is
I was gonna say, if
Carl.
you hurt that chinchilla,
A story of monsters, mystery, and myth, and the 4 adventurers who have banded together as heroes and as friends.
And then he hears Val's voice from above, and then he basically feels better.
Yeah. Who come together to make the world a little safer for their fellow mortals. Large creatures.
I brought Hody!
Yeah.
We can't put
Yep.
Hody in danger.
Well, I guess it's hero time. Reckless Attack is a weekly, collaboratively built and character-driven D&D 5th edition actual play podcast. Join us at our table as we explore a homebrew fantasy world whose future is built on the mistakes of the past. A story of ultra giants and saints, legends and rediscovery, and stacks of frogs.
Checkers is building his own Ewok village.
Check us out at recklessattack.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey, you there, listener. This is Allie, from that podcast that you're listening to right now. Well, if you're listening to us, you must be really into or interested in tabletop role-playing games. Well, from the makers and publishers of games like Mutants and Masterminds, that's the one that we play, Blue Rose, Dragon Age RPG, Fantasy Age RPG, and many more, Green Ronin Publishing and Dice Drop Evolution would like to give back to you all. So stock up and pick up some new games at greenronin.com and use the code DICEDROP at checkout to help save you some money. Again, that is greenronin.com and the code is DICEDROP at checkout. Have fun, friends.
Is there a water dragon and a rosy
I don't
boa?
know. You're not there, so I wouldn't fucking know.
Johnny, is there a water dragon and a rosy boa?
He wouldn't know either.
God damn it.
He doesn't know animals like that.
they're just animals. He just
Johnny's
pumps drugs
specific
into
custom
them.
skill is biochemistry. Okay, we made a custom skill for him for that.
Well, that's to me too.
He just pumps drugs into animals. It's fine. He doesn't even
Yeah.
care.
One time, a bunny ended up with electricity power, so it's real interesting.
Playing
was the
that Monty
Energizer-
Python bit real big.
No,
I just
he
thought it was funny.
It was the Energizer Bunny.
No, it's
Yeah.
a killer bunny.
Ah.
It's
So,
so happy.
So, as the day gets darker, Johnny, I am going to have you give me an insight or investigation. You can do insight or investigation for me.
Go investigation, since I'm rolling a plus 20 there.
I love that I allowed you to just break your character. I was like,
his character is so broken.
Dear
I love
God.
him.
That's gonna be a 26.
Okay, so it's been dark most nights that you've been at Adam and Eve. You think that like a lot of the big electronic like holographic screens have just kind of shorted out because no one's been around for a good almost over a year now. They've been evacuated for such a long time and everything's so quiet that like the electricity just kind of stopped after a while. Like there was no point in keeping it up except for like the way that you've had it kept running in your little lab area. So tonight it's a little bit weird. You are noticing that a little, like you're noticing like things are starting to like turn on, but it's like almost like flashing turning on. Like there's some form of an energy field that's just like in the Adam and Eve University now. And it seems to be like picking up the electronics all around it to like turn them off and then turn them back on, then turn them off and turn them back on. It's kind of like your Pennsylvania home in the middle of a storm. Love B&E.
Yes. I understand this.
I understood that reference.
Sorry. Well, actually, Britton, you've been in the East Coast before. You kind of understood that reference.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but explain to the people who are not mostly from Pennsylvania or Maryland in case they don't have electronics that randomly turn on and off.
So B&E is the lovely, like, they do all the electricity around here, and it's like the main hub for like everything for Maryland, Pennsylvania. Might also be Virginia. I don't know how far B&E goes. Mappy might know more than me.
It's like our specific power grid, essentially. Yeah. Like the United States is set up on grids.
Yeah. Okay. So whenever there's a storm and it's just like not that bad of a storm, but it's just like a little bit of a storm. Let's say like it's like the aftermath of a hurricane from like Louisiana. The lights will just go off, and for no reason. There will be like maybe like 4-mile-an-hour winds and some rain, and the lights will just be like, nope. And then we'll get a message from B&E saying, oh no, there's outages everywhere, now you gotta wait 10 hours, and then it'll come back after like maybe 3 hours, and you're like, oh thank god, and then it'll turn off again, and it's like, what the fuck?
See where we are? Our power grid is, a majority of it is underground, so like they'll run the cables and everything underground, so like, you know, like if the power goes out, shit's fucking bad. Because our, like, my house now, like the power lines are like outside and up and over, but like where I grew up, the power lines were underground, which is cool.
Shit's fun.
Electricity is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like science. It's like science. Technology. All the technology is turning off and on and flickering on and off, and you're clocking that. Whether or not you would do something about it, that's on Johnny.
Aliens.
Johnny's probably going to be looking for a pattern.
Okay. Let me roll for something. Don't mind Allie. The amount of dice that you hear in this roll means nothing.
Oh, that sounds like at least 5.
It was 6. You weren't that wrong. How come the gay one always rolls well for me?
Because gays be awesome.
Okay, so you're noticing the others don't really have a pattern. If anything, it looks more just like a weird hum of energy that's going through it. However, there is one holographic window that normally has like all of the classes that are happening and all the labs that are happening at that time, so no one really gets interrupted by other students, or they don't really like have their schedule in front of them, like this is when I have the free time to go into the lab or anything. You notice that one right outside your lab kind of has like this like flicker to it that does seem like it's more rhythmic than the others, where it will flash on for about 2 seconds, then flicker and then off, and then flash on and then flicker and then flash off, and it will continuously do that. But you see, I mean, you can do an awareness if you really want to, but if you also want to ask me something, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, would that be something that would have been normal for that system?
No.
Okay.
Everything at Adam and Eve was very top-notch. It was the best of the best of the best. The best technicians, the best engineers, the best scientists worked on everything at this university.
So Johnny's gonna think something's a little off here. Like, he's not a super paranoid person, but he also knows that this isn't normal, right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to do that awareness, you totally could.
Yeah, they're gonna do an awareness. And roll a 17. That's a 5 on the die.
Well, maybe things just got a little bit weird last night after the storm. There hasn't been a storm like that in a while. There was a lot of lightning and stuff, so it could have been trapped in one of the energy converters, and now it's just starting to start back up because of that energy. Also, the solar power from this morning from after the storm could have maybe also triggered something. So there's a varying amount of options that could be going on. Let me roll for the. I mean, it's super quiet. It's super quiet in here. There's not really. There's no one around from what you can tell.
Swear to God, if it's a haunted lab. Nope, I know exactly what this is.
Okay.
All right. So Johnny's he'll go back to kind of about his work and what he was doing. Specifically looking at he's continuing on his work on, trying to map the genome end of things and working on this gene therapy project that he's working on. Can I roll on my custom skill a biochemistry roll to see if he notices anything awesome with what he's doing this evening?
Yes.
All right.
It's gonna be like a 45. Oh, it's a 34.
Rolling low on the die tonight.
So, your stuff is stable right now. There isn't anything really, really big happening. Okay. Don't you love it when DMs game goddesses just roll dice and you don't know what it's for?
I know what it's for.
Do you?
Uh-huh. I know exactly the kind of bullshit you're pulling right now, Allie, and I'm not for it.
It's funny that, if you want to know what's really funny is I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm being 100% honest. I'm not even being a dick.
I know exactly
all right
what we're gonna have to go up against.
Okay. All right, that's what you...
because I'm smart and I have good remembering skills.
Okay. All right, so, yeah, your stuff is fine. It's all stable. Your notes are still all there. Everything seems super quiet, except for, the weird, buzzing from the technology. All of your stuff is looking stable. It's looking good. The animals that were in the lab are sleeping. Yeah, it's everything's looking right where it should be.
All right, then. So Johnny's gonna, keep going about his work. He's gonna introduce a little more dead tissues to see what exactly happens with these, looking actually at the DNA itself this time.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, what were you looking at? Just looking at the DNA itself?
Yep. To see what happens.
All right, let's... Ooh, this is the fun part. I didn't even think about doing this till just now. Please hold, everybody. So what happens... All right. So, the chemical changes from day to day. I would like to say that, this kind of just intermixes with every DNA to find, the most, compatible power for that person or for that DNA strand. And today, it's more of, a green and are you putting it on anything, or are you just checking out the DNA?
I'm checking out DNA with microscope, whatever microscopes they're using at Adam and Eve University.
Okay, so what you're doing is, well, what the DNA is doing is you'll look at it and you'll see these green, like almost tendrils come out of it and start like intertwining the DNA. If you look close enough, it does sort of look like vines, and it sort of just wraps around itself from the DNA and starts glowing green itself, and it looks like the DNA is almost stronger.
Okay.
Now, let me do a quick roll. Okay. All right, Johnny. Can you give me a perception check?
21.
So it's not the weirdest sound that you've ever heard. Because you do have animals in the room, it could be coming from anywhere. But you just hear this very, very light, almost pen drop. But that's it. Like, maybe one of your pens just fell. Maybe nothing's out of the blue at all. It's just eerily silent all of a sudden, though, once you hear that pen drop.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
And then that breath that Britton just did, like, was spooky, and I got chills.
Britton doing spooky shit?
No, he just, like, exhaled, and it was, like, right after you said, and then you hear nothing but silence, and it was... And I was like, oh, shit!
It's super duper quiet all this.
Stop breathing! Damn!
God damn it, Britton!
I mean, I could have growled, but
No, but like, I know,
if you
like,
would have growled, I would have said something kinky, and then everyone.
I kind of figured you would.
No, I've just been watching a shit ton of scary movies, so that was like, honestly, like, so surreal.
All right. So it's now super duper quiet. Johnny's like eerily quiet.
Yeah, I mean, what you can hear still is just like the beeping from like your normal mechanisms, or like the subtle buzz from anything that's holding your chemicals, or like the buzz from the computer, but that's it.
Okay.
Like, you don't even hear the animals, and they're normally at least snoring.
Oh shit.
All right, well, this sounds fun.
Mappy, make a perception check or an investigation check, because I'm pretty sure that this is sensory deprivation.
Yeah, let's do an investigation check, because this don't seem right.
Okay.
32.
Oh, thank God!
From the corner of your eye, you see something red, and they kind of shift into existence and then shift back out of existence.
Okay. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that, and I want to try and from what I have in front of me, I want to try and cobble together an improvised explosive device.
Fucking bet. Okay.
Going out like a 5-year-old in Ross.
Just something that obviously like I'm going to try and limit the blast radius, but I want to be able to have something to just chuck in that general direction.
Okay. A minute. I am going to roll for the other two because I want to see how close they are for you.
Oh, so there's 2 of them.
No, I'm rolling for us driving there.
Okay.
Okay, so we're like at an 18, so we're almost there. River's in the front seat with Remy going, we haven't done this in so long. Oh my god.
And I'm telling you, you need to go this direction in order to get there faster. You need to take this exit.
Remy, we literally just go up and move straight. I will hit it, I promise you. So, yeah, okay, they're almost there. They can see it in the distance. Like, they're pretty close. But, yes, you see the red robe shift in and out of existence.
Oh, so it's a red robe.
All right, so, do you want me to make a technology check on that? What do you want me to make a check on making my improvised grenade here?
Let's do... Yeah, let's do a technology. That sounds fun.
Okay.
Your stat there doesn't look game-breaking at all. That sounds fun.
My plus 22 on technology.
Yeah, you're plus 22.
Jesus Christ.
33.
My plus 2 to technology.
You're able to, with stuff that you have around, you're able to make kind of a little bit stronger of a Molotov cocktail.
Okay.
So you can get that prepared. Since I told you to put your other dice away because I'm a dick, unless you have them out. Can you roll a percentile for me?
Sure.
Don't do it. You don't have to.
Yeah, if you want me to do it, I totally can, but...
You don't have to. She's just telling you to.
You don't have to. The game goddess is just curious.
It's not a requirement.
I could just roll it and roll 22. There's a way you can do that.
Oh, yeah, you can do that in roll 22. Sorry.
All right, so my percentile die is a 88.
Ooh, you get it done quickly. Okay, so you get that done, and probably I'm going to say it takes you maybe 7 to 8 minutes to find everything you need and get that together. Let me see. Okay. You get that bomb basically together. Are you just using that as a weapon right now, or are you planning on blasting everything?
I'm going to try something, and it's probably stupid, but I'm going to try it.
Nope. That's literally the entire podcast, so go.
All right. So, I want to do another investigation check real quick, now that I have my improvised explosive device put together.
Okay.
40. That's a nat 20 plus 20.
Dear God. Oh my God.
So you'll notice it kind of looks like in-person bad Photoshop, kind of like a shifting of walls in the room, but it's not like they're like moving towards you or anything. It kind of just looks like there's like a weird sort of, it's like if you go to the side, it looks correct, but if you look directly at it, it kind of has like a weird curve to it, and you notice it in 3 areas of the room.
Okay.
Let me roll to see if they realize. Okay, so none of them have realized that you kind of clocked them. Like, they're just sort of watching you.
Okay. So, Johnny's going to he's going to grab the Molotov cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to, I'm going to assume I'm going to need a roll for this at some point. So Johnny's going to turn, he's going to look out at the room. He's going to say in his southern accent, Y'all ever heard of knocking before coming into a man's lab? Y'all even know what I'm doing in here? Just generally to the room, because he's fairly well figured out at this point that there's something else in the room with him. And it's humanish.
All right, well, 2 of them have balls.
Oh,
No, I'm
interesting.
sorry, I rolled 2 nat 20s in that.
Oh. So they also have a big dick.
Big dick energy. Wop. So right at that moment when you say that, the speeder that the other 3 are in parks. River sort of looks over at Remy and goes, "All right, where's the lab you think you'd be in?"
Actually, let me roll a percentile dice.
Okay.
Let me see. No, because
this you going?
There's plenty of labs and stuff, so like she'd have to like make somewhat of an accurate guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we'll figure it out in a few moments, but yeah.
Like, we never talked with him, so like it would make sense if she like would say like, oh, well, like a majority of the labs are over in this general area, but in order to get the specific one, I would need a percentile dice. I got matching ones, so I should roll good. Okay, I don't roll percentile dices all the time. I got a 0, 0, and a 1. Is that a 100?
That's a 1.
That's a 1.
How do you get a 100 then?
0, 0, 0.
0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, I was about to say, like, oh, so, yeah, Remy has no fucking clue of which specific room.
But
like,
do you know what direction?
Well, yeah, all the labs are over in this area, and then she points over to that area, but I have no idea of what to tell you which exact lab he's gonna be in.
All right, that's fair. That's fine. Let's start over there and figure it out. So, as we're going over there, all right, Johnny.
I wanted it to be fucking lucky, so I got matching ones, and I got the lowest possible score!
I always do mismatching ones and get pretty okay scores.
My OCD can't handle that.
So, Johnny, as you say that, 2 of the 3 that were in the room sort of unveiled themselves. And one takes down her hood and goes, "Oh, so you're Johnny. It's so good to meet you. You're very smart, very perceptive."
Johnny's gonna look at her. Who the hell are you?
I'm Magnolia. I am from Evolution, and we just wanted to make sure everything was good and safe. We're gonna have some of our friends come and help you if that's okay. We wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you. Your work here means a lot to us.
He's gonna look her up and out. I feel like I shouldn't be trusting that even a little bit, just out of character.
No.
I'm very good at the evil ones.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Yeah. Always do an insight check.
31.
So, Johnny already isn't that great at talking at girls in the first place, but something tells you that this little one is up to no good.
I would say that just because he's not good at talking to girls doesn't mean he can't tell people's intentions. Like, he can tell when someone's leading him up.
There's some boys that aren't good at talking to anybody.
Yeah,
but like when a girl talks to them, they lose all effects of doing anything ever.
Okay.
Me.
I'll take that.
Me. Honestly, also me. honestly also me.
Doesn't matter who it is that's talking to me. It's just me.
Well, I guess I could just talk to anybody, huh?
So, Magnolia actually, she's very cute. She has like a cute pink bob, cute little bangs. She kind of looks like a little e-girl. If you know what that is, Mappy. If you don't, I'm sorry.
Oh my god, she's an ulu.
Yeah, she could she could sit in front of her webcam and play games and talk in a little like gamer girl voice and
Dear God,
make
shit,
bank.
no.
And make bank. So yeah, so she's very cute, but she's just like, it's so good to meet you, and I really, really, really enjoy your work that you're doing.
Johnny's gonna be smart here because he's smart.
All right.
That's what he does. He's gonna say, "Really, what exactly is it that you enjoy so much about my work?"
Oh, well, we all really like, as you, I'm pretty sure clocked more of us. The other one on the other side is a guy who is roughly standing around 6'1". He has like longer black hair. It's like tucked in a braid. And they're still wearing like the red robe, but it's a little bit smaller on them than it is on Magnolia. And he just is just watching the situation. The other person has not unveiled themselves. They're just sort of watching this happen. And she's just like, well, what we really like is like you're doing so much to help not only our cause, but just like showing the inclusiveness of being a mutant and how wonderful and fantastic we are, and how we can actually help this community rather than people being afraid of us.
So you have no idea what I'm doing. That's good to know.
He's like, is that not what you're doing? I'm sorry. I was only given so much information.
So I'm gonna have to ask y'all to leave my lab.
Oh, you see, honey, we really can't do that because some of our new friends are actually coming here, and they're going to help you to come to us. We hope that's okay.
Right. Dad, why would I do that?
Well, you see, and right as she goes, well, you hear River going, Remy, there are like 50 labs in here and you literally cannot figure out which one. Are you kidding me?
I turn to her and I throw my hands up in the air and she goes, well, if he's in this one, he clearly knows we're here now.
Sounds like it's like from 5 labs down.
Trust me, it sounds like we're directly beside you.
Oh yeah. I need Remy and Michael to give me a perception and or investigation. River's going to be doing one as well. Because we're smart and we can clock when shit's happening, but not when we're being fucking morons.
I got a 21, a 13 plus 8 for perception.
Okay, I got
a 12.
I got 26. So, right when River like goes like, seriously, Remy, are you kidding me? Do you guys see that? And like the sort of masking of more of these red robes in the hallway starts to like undulate a little bit, at least in front of River's eyes. Remy, you clock it, and Michael, you didn't clock it until River says something.
I just say, God, they're like cockroaches.
River goes, really, guys, you can't trust us to do one task? Or I feel like we're a lot cooler than you. Magnolia looks at you, Johnny, and goes, oh, those are our friends. Don't worry. They're just a lot more louder than us. Sorry. We will be on the side But if you need us, please holler. Like I said, we will be seeing you tomorrow. It's so great to see you around. And in front of your eyes, Johnny, you see her sort of melt into the floor.
Johnny's
Not unlike Kingdom Hearts.
Johnny's going to slowly put his improvised explosive device carefully on the table.
Smart.
Are the rest of them who are in the room still there, or did they leave too?
The ones that were in the room have melted away. The ones in the hallway are still there, and you can hear a very croaky child screaming at them. By child, I mean 20-year-old who's just also 5'2".
Johnny's going to shake his head and just say, "God damn. Just want to get this work done."
So once River clocks all of them, they all sort of unveil themselves, and she goes, "Guys, this is starting to get real obnoxious. If you can't trust us to do a job, and if you're already here, why don't you just do it yourself?" And none of them say anything. They all just sort of look down, and let's see if any of them have balls to speak to River. My favorite part.
I'm clocking I'm gonna rack my pistol now, just in case something stupid happens.
That's us.
We are the stupid.
Yeah, collectively, all of us. So one looks up at River and he just sort of smiles. He's one of the more attractive people that you've seen in Evolution. He's
an e-boy.
He's an e-boy, because I want to do e-boys and e-girls now. It's my show.
Okay,
I'm rolling something. Give me a second. 80, 90. Okay. So he has the whitest blonde hair and kind of, those eyes, I forgot what it was called, but those eyes that can get different swirls of color in it.
Oh, dear God, Allie.
I forgot what it was called.
Okay.
Are you rolling to fall in love?
Yes, she is.
Well, it's
this is my kink!
It is? Oh, well. So,
my first celebrity crush was Orlando Bloom in Lord of the Rings. You say silver hair? That does it.
Yeah, well, he has silver hair
today.
He has silver hair, and he has almost yellow and blue, multicolored eyes, and he just sort of smirks, and he goes, "I mean, don't worry about it. We're just making sure that the job gets done. It's not that hard for you. I promise. Unless it is a bit hard for you." And he winks at Michael.
Oh, dear Jesus. He just slowly is becoming less and less attractive to Remy. It was a 10 and now it's a 7.
No.
I think it's the whole asshole persona.
Yeah, well.
Yep. Okay, well, since he wants to pull this bullshit. Now, part of these deals are trusting one another. You ain't gonna trust us. I ain't gonna trust any of y'all.
No, I think we trust you. It's just more making sure you're okay. It's about your safety. Don't worry.
Oh, my safety I can handle alone. Don't you worry your head about that.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just discuss it with Peter then. Get Johnny out of here, will you? And he goes, "Let's go, guys." And all of them melt into the floor, and they are gone.
I
So
put my pistol back in its holster. Nope. Shake my head.
Yeah, these guys seem like they're a little bit a lot. Hey Johnny. Oh, Johnny.
No, he's got to say
Here's
it.
Johnny.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to say it. Don't do it. He might be.
So, after that fun encounter, Johnny, you clock 3 people come in to meet you, and one of them you do recognize. And she is statuesque and beautiful and has long blonde hair. That's Professor Lancaster's daughter. That's Remy. You've seen her in your labs a few times. You've also seen her on the TV using her cute little water powers.
Johnny's gonna nod at Remy. Now, what do I owe a visit from Professor Lancaster's daughter to?
Remy kind of like feels very awkward because she's like, oh no, the creepy, like, you know, like that standard creepy guy from like high school or college who recognizes you outside of class and you're like, oh dear God, like that kind of vibe. So she's like, hi, Johnny.
So apparently none of y'all ever heard of knocking before, just walking in and out my lab.
I mean, to be fair, this was a school lab. It looks like you just made it your own, which, like, good on you, guy. But, listen, I'm gonna need you to come in a little bit closer. Just come here. Just come here. And River, like, gestures, like, coming closer.
Johnny, she's gonna smack you. I wouldn't do it.
Johnny's gonna stay. Johnny's gonna stay right where he is and say, "No,
I don't know if they're still around, and I need to discuss something so we can get out of Dodge."
So Johnny's going to very carefully pick up the IED again.
River's like, please no.
And say, right, so I don't know who they were. I don't really know who you are except for Professor Lancaster's daughter here. What I do know is that I have important work I'm doing, and y'all all keeping me from that.
So we have a lab. We have a huge lab. We can make a space just for you. We have a whole bunch of other people from, actually, most of the other lab teachers from here are at our base. But we need you, my dude. Mostly because, like, those people, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm gonna be super honest. And River, like, takes her neck, and she has extending abilities, which makes her kind of like Elastigirl. She extends her neck up to, like, looking at your face and whispers, and she goes, we don't trust them, and you seem too smart for them to get a hold of. So we need you. And she sort of sinks back into her normal self. She goes, we need you to just sort of cooperate, because they weren't even supposed to be here.
Johnny's gonna say, yeah, nobody's supposed to be here. So
neither are you, motherfucker.
Right. But
we have hot food. Just saying.
Johnny's going to gesture at all of the snack foods that he's been subsisting off of.
He goes,
they still got nutrients.
I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, wouldn't you love a hot meal?
Allie, I preemptively rolled a persuasion check. So I rolled it. I got a 19 on the die, and I have a plus 10 to persuasion. So,
all right, I'm going.
Remy cracks her knuckles as
One
you're trying
moment.
to get
before you do that. Actually, you know what? You do it, and then I'll have Johnny roll something for me.
Okay, because I was about to say, as she's talking about hot food and they're having an argument over whether a vending machine food is good or not,
This is a normal conversation.
This is always a good conversation. She cracks her fingers and she pushes her aside, and she's like, as much as vending machine food versus hot food is cool, I speak nerd. So I turn and I look at him and I go,
"You are the Lorax. You speak for the trees."
I am the Lorax. I speak for the geeks. So, Johnny, let's be real. Would you rather be working in this itty-bitty, gross-ass lab that barely functions, or would you rather have a high-tech, state-of-the-art lab that has working power, if I can speak, that has working power, and you wouldn't have to worry about running out of the vending machine food, and you'd have a place for all of your little itty-bitty, and then she looks at all of the animals that have, like, been tested on, and some of them probably look not like cute little fuzzy animals anymore, and she's like, little, critters, a nice place to
Timmy
stay.
and Claudia are about to have so many pets, I'm just saying.
So, would you rather have this? And then she goes, or living in a deep, dank dungeon that kind of frankly smells like pee. As she glances over, does she see pee water bottles?
Oh no, John, does she see me?
I'm assuming that he's using the bathroom like a normal human being, because there would be bathrooms in this building.
Okay, listen, I know someone who has used pee water bottles before. This is not something new.
So he's going to look Remy kind of up and down. Right. So why would you take me somewhere besides where creepy hood boys wanted to take me?
They don't want to take you from that location.
Well, frankly, would you rather be working with terrorists who blew up the city to begin with, or would you rather be working with people who are trying to stop all the fighting from happening? Plus, you'd be free to work on whatever you wish without much interference.
I was working here fine with no interference for quite some time.
Well, clearly not, considering you haven't noticed the red robes until today.
They could have been watching you for months without you knowing.
Exactly, like that little creepy fella over there with the eyeballs. She points over to Red-Eye Dude.
Right.
Oh, they're all gone.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I was going to say the lizard. What are you talking about?
Okay.
So Johnny's going to kind of look at them and say, right, so you're working with them, but you're not working with them.
Oh, we don't like these motherfuckers one bit.
The situation is a little bit interesting.
It's a complex situation, much like me working here under cover of darkness so that nobody knows about what I'm doing. Yes,
but obviously we know what you're doing now, dude.
What am I doing?
So you're not safe.
What am I doing?
You are making mutants. It's not that hard to tell, Johnny. That lizard has an extra human arm coming out of it.
It's like a baby arm.
And it just waves like, hi.
River's like, no, that one's my favorite. Stop. That's my new best friend.
So Johnny's going to look right at Remy now at this point. Well, at least one of y'all smart. All right. Where are we going?
Well, technically, it's my house.
It kind of got... It got new and improved in a way of where it got worse.
Yes.
Right.
Just know it's not in the middle of the street.
Johnny's gonna actually agree at this point to go with, but he's gonna need help loading up all of his equipment and notes and laptop and.
Oh yeah. So, excuse me as I roll. So, as you guys take the moments to get all of his stuff together, It's going to take around maybe 20-30 minutes, making sure all of the serums that you made and everything are safely secured and well packaged for the maybe hour and a half travel that's about to happen, depending whether or not fun stuff happens.
I want the fun stuff to happen. I want the fun stuff.
You want the fun stuff, or you don't want the fun stuff?
No, I want the fun stuff.
Oh, well. Are you sure?
Yes.
So, as you guys are all loading up the van and everything, everything's in there, ready to go. I need to do someone do me a D2 real fast, if you have one in front of you. Because I need to decide on something and I can't find one.
I do.
I normally. Good.
Flip. 1.
Okay. So, as you're putting something in the car, or putting everything in the car, you are taking the animals with, yes? We've decided on that? Okay, cool. I'm just going to say this now. The animals were not going to die. I just wanted to make sure that we were taking the animals. So everyone loads in, and River's in the driver's seat. We're all just sort of having a mild conversation about like what's going on and everything. And all of a sudden the car phone starts ringing. The best way I can explain this to you, Mappy, and it's the best way I explained it to everybody else, it's kind of like a flying Tesla SUV. So you kind of like understand kind of what the front console looks like and everything. And so River, it says unknown caller, and River says answer call, and we see our favorite friend pop up. He's chilling in his office chair, and he goes, "Hello, everybody. It's been a while. I see you have my friend. Hello, Johnny. I can't wait to meet you."
It's odd that you call somebody a friend who you never met before.
I feel like we are going to be great friends. Do not worry about that. Did you guys have any trouble with what I heard from one of the mission goers that there was a little bit of an encounter. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing too upsetting about that.
So Johnny's going to say, just deadpan, you should teach your folks to knock first.
Oh, I'm so sorry for the rudeness. I look forward to talking with you, Johnny. I am so sorry they made you feel any sort of way than comfortable in your situation.
Yeah, sending a bunch of them to spy on me made me feel real comfortable.
Oh, but that wasn't the intention. It was more of a making sure that our new friends here got you back where you needed to ever so safely. As River is... Who rolled? As River is driving... Oh, okay. Alright, you know what? That's fair, Brendan. If you want to put on your survival sense, you can put it on.
Good.
Britton, you start seeing with your sight, kind of like a radar of something in the background coming. It doesn't exactly look like a helicopter. In fact, it kind of looks just more like a weird mass. And it's following the car, and it's following at a fairly good distance.
He's gonna tap River on the shoulder and whisper, "We're being tailed."
River's like, "So you're telling me to yeet it?"
Step on it and get us the hell out of this thing.
All right, cool. River goes, "Yeah, so Peter, as you see, we got Johnny, so we're gonna go. We'll talk to you later. Is that okay?" He goes, "Of course, River. No problem. and turns off the phone. And we are rolling vehicles. 12. My vehicle, I believe, is a plus 20 because I am also broken. No, okay. So, River rolled a 26 on her vehicles. She slams down the gas of the car and books it. And at that moment, who's sitting next to Johnny? Let's start there. Who's in my passengers?
Me and Johnny are in the back. I think that was
okay. You and Johnny. So it's me and Remy in the front.
Yeah.
All right. So Michael, you see from your survival sense, from your radar, this arm of this mass come out toward the car like at a shooting speed. And next thing you know, the door from Johnny's side is being ripped off.
I'm going to try to grab my pistol and shoot whatever the hell it is.
Okay.
I don't think I have enough time.
I'm rolling for vehicles again for River because this is okay. Cool. So River's able to steady the car, but River's screaming at this point. I don't know if Remy's screaming or if she's in shock.
I'm sorry, I blacked out. What happened?
I love you. There's a dark tendril that basically just ripped open the passenger door side where Johnny was. And
okay.
So the car is still steady.
Is screaming. Is it trying to grab him?
Yes.
Okay. Remy, well, you go through and then if we have to do like initiative order shit, then I'll tell you what I want to do.
Okay. Michael, you wanted to do something right as this happened?
Yeah, I was gonna. It's just like a tentacle thing.
It looks weirdly. It looks solid, but it also looks like smoke. It's weird.
Oh fuck.
Is Peter?
Never mind. I'm not gonna shoot that shit then. If I can see through it, I'm going to try to use my force field and wrap this thing around us.
So here's the thing, Britton.
Fuck.
Since it is technically made of smoke, and you saw him already, so there's no way it could be him. The thing's able to go through your force field.
Well, it can stay stuck in the force field. At least our buddy can.
So, do you want to do anything, Johnny? Because right now the smoke is wrapping around your body.
If your seatbelt's on, you should be safe.
I'm assuming I have a seatbelt on.
Yep.
I am looking around frantically on the inside of the vehicle to see if there is anything that I can cobble together to make some sort of weapon or improvised explosive device out of.
You have your seatbelt. All of your actual stuff is in the back. Would you have put the improvised explosive in your pocket, or would you have brought that in with you?
I probably would have taken it with me just in case, because I don't entirely trust.
Okay, would it be in the back, or would it be like with you?
It would be with me.
Okay, so. Do you want to try and throw that at it?
Sure. I'm going to try and throw that at the thing and see what happens.
Okay. Roll a I forgot. Roll fighting for me.
Good. I'm terrible at this.
This is where we see his weakness.
Oh,
hey!
17 on the die plus 4 is 21.
Okay, so all right. So he rolled a 14 for a dodge, but he has a plus 17 to it.
Jeebus.
So the improvised bomb basically through like you threw it and you notice it almost seems like he can become intangible when he wants to be. And Johnny, you get unlocked from your seatbelt, and one moment you're there and the next you're not.
Okay, can I do my thing that I want to do?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Johnny's no longer there though, and the smoke is depleting.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is so like he was basically taken out of the car, right? Like he's being like
he is no longer there.
No longer
he was there, and then he was there, and now he's not.
Wait a minute. He is good at mind manipulation, making us see things.
Mm-hmm. But you knew Johnny was there. You felt you. Why would he make you go after something that wasn't there?
Because he took him when we were in the building.
Did he?
Yeah, that's when they took them. They took him when we were in the building. So I yell at River to stop the car, turn around, and go back to Adam and Eve University. Because I have a feeling like they're still in there.
Well, right now the car is pretty much in shambles, and River's having a hard enough time trying to get it back.
Well, as soon as we land the car, Remy's gonna run towards the university at full sprint.
And that is where we'll end it. Hello, 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 friends. This is Allie. Hello. I hope everybody is having a wonderful time. If you hadn't noticed, our wonderful guest, Mappy, or Mappy McMacface, however you want to call him, you can find him on Twitter at n_quests for Maps and Quests. Mappy is a wonderful person in the space and makes amazing, huge maps. In fact, he made our world map that is actually going to be shown here soon. We're going to be posting it on our Dice Drop website, which is dicedropblog.com. If you aren't already on there, I would go and check it out. Mappy not only makes amazing maps, but also makes really cool games. He is also one of the founders of Caltrop Core, along with Titanomachy and A Ghost of Eli. So, if you aren't already, go check out Mappy. You can also check out his Patreon, which I also linked below. So check out everything that has to do with Maps and Quest, will you? Anyways, hey, how are ya? If you aren't already, and you're following Maps and Quests on Twitter, but you're not following Dice Drop, the podcast that you listen to, that's weird. You can follow us at dice_drop. And if you want to help support us, there's a multitude of ways to do it. If you're looking to gain some new games, some new things to play with some friends, go check out greenronin.com and get some new games, get some new merch, and then when you're checking out, just put in code DICEDROP. Save some money and help us out, because it goes both ways. You can do no wrong. You save money and you help support us. Hell yeah. If you're not really looking into some games, but you want some Dice Drop merch, you can also look at our Teespring. Our Teespring has a bunch of different shirts and a bunch of other things. I believe I have a blanket on there that is the depression blanket for River, which I think is very funny on there. And you can check us out there too. That link is also below. And also, if you just want to if you don't want anything and you just want to support us through the goodness of your heart, you can go to our Ko-fi. Coffee's also linked. Wow. It's like I prepare for you guys. And you can just, put a little donation in there and everything goes back into this podcast, guys. And we really appreciate the love and support. Now, what you're probably wondering is when the next time you're going to hear our lovely voices. Well, you'll hear our lovely voices again on March 25th. See you there, friends.
Oh, yeah. It's so much funnier if I tell it to you guys. Duh. So I went out shopping on Friday because I needed to buy some time between leaving work and going to my grandmother's birthday dinner. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to go. If anyone on the East, I think this is an East Coast store, but Ross is like a
No, Ross
Marshall's.
is everywhere.
Ross is everywhere. Okay. Like I thought it was just exclusively on the East Coast.
No, it's everywhere. They
So
had them in Arizona.
Ross is great. But there's some interesting characters that you can meet at a Ross. So the whisk story will also go into that other story that I was telling you about, and it was hysterical. And so I go to Ross and I'm buying a couple of things, and then I realize, like, oh my gosh, like I need to buy a new whisk because the whisk I currently have is kind of broken and it sucks. So I'm like standing at like their utensil aisle forever. And then I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to go over and ask like an associate to help me because it wasn't too busy in the store. So I was like, I might as well just ask. And so I asked like, excuse me, do you have any whisks? And they were like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we have some here. Let me try to help you find one. And I'm standing there and me and this lady are just talking. And she's like, well, why do you need a new whisk? And this and that. And I was explaining how like, I've had the same whisk for like 6 years. It's broken. I just need a new metal whisk, not like one of those ones that are like silicone or whatever, because mine tend to break very easily.
Elena gives good hand jobs.
No, I use whisking a lot in cooking, so like I do that. And I've just started getting into baking, so I needed like a nice metal whisk because I didn't want something that was floppy.
You don't want anything floppy in your hand.
No, and meanwhile, there's been like there was like this lady who was like not like hovering, but was awfully close to like the area, like close enough to hear our conversation. And she's like been like basically like circling like a shark. And I'm just like, I guess she's waiting for this associate to be done with me. And then I see her pick up the only fucking whisk that Ross had and just chalantly puts it into her cart. And she's like, oh, found the, like acting like, oh, found the thing I was looking for. And I was like, you bitch. So I turned to the Ross associate and I was like, by chance, do you have any more whisks in the back or anything? Like, it's not like I need it now kind of a thing. I'm just curious. And she's like, no, I am so sorry, ma'am. That must have been the last whisk that we have right now. But we do get like our new shipment coming in soon. It might have some whisks in there because their inventory is not like, if you get it, you get it. Like, it's not like a thing, but it's like you get it and you might not get another thing for months. So I'm just like, this motherfucking
that's
Karen.
Everywhere right now, to be honest.
Yeah, but that's just how they are. Like, it's not like Target where like they know like, oh yeah, this is coming in on the shipment truck. Ross is the kind of store where it's like, we get what we get and we sell it. So and I'm like, this fucking hoe. And so I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to go steal the whisk. So I'm like just casually like, oh, like shopping around, putting some things in my car and trying so hard to not just go up and sucker throat punch this chick in the face. And then she has one moment where she walks away from her cart and I run like the get out run up, swipe that shit out of the cart and then run around to where my cart was and then go back to browsing. I was over in like where they keep all of like the storage containers and stuff. And she was in the aisle that had all the mugs. And I was like, and they're like right beside each other. So I was like, yes. So then I'm like, shit, how am I going to fucking hide this? How am I going to fucking hide this whisk? Because I don't have enough things in my cart and I don't have like clothes or anything to put underneath. So this is what I do. For anyone who has ever seen me in person, I am a big-tittied lady. And so if any of you big-titty ladies out there know this method, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm like, I'm going to hide the whisk in my boobs. So I do the lift and drop method, where you lift up your boobs, shove something underneath of your boob, and then you drop them. They stay firmly in place no matter what the object is. And I continue about my merry day. Meanwhile, I hear this lady like talking about how like all these other things, and I'm just like, like, so long, sucker. And then this leads into the pee story, where I'm in line and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go in line before this lady knows that the whisk is like not in here. I don't need anything else because it's all Christmas stuff and I was only looking for fall stuff. And so I'm like standing in line and I'm like behind this mom and her kid, and the kid is screaming at the top of his lungs, Mom, I need to go to the bathroom. I need to pee. And Ross has bathrooms, and she's like, no, you can wait until we like get home. Like we only have to do like 2 more things. And he's like, no, I really have to pee. And then the mom goes, no, you can effing hold it. And like this, like that kind of mom talk. And I'm like, oh God, no. And I'm just like, this kid is going to finna pee in the store and not do anything about it. And so then the kid goes, Mom, I'm going to pee here in the store. This kid was like 5. So like, you know, for a fact, he was going to do it. And
Mappy's like, yes, continue.
The mom goes, no, you're not. And the kid just yells, "Bit," and then proceeds to piss all over the floor. And I'm just sitting behind them like, no, like I should have recorded the whole thing. So then the kid starts to cry because now he's standing there in piss-soaked jeans. So the mom then yells to the dad, go grab some pants. So what they do is that they quickly pay for the pants, go into the changing room, change their son out of the pants. And meanwhile, Whisk Lady is 2 like people behind me. And I'm like,
oh,
quick,
no.
I'm like, quick, get the whisk. And I'm like having like, quick. And like forcing like this lady to go so fast. But of course it was like one of those like new people, and I was just like trying so hard not to be rude, and she was trying her best, and she's like, so how like blah 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 blah, and I'm like, I'm not here to talk right now.
Oh my
I would
God.
have been so honest with her. I'd been like, look, ma'am, I stole a whisk, and it was the last whisk out of that lady's cart over there. I'm gonna need you to hurry the fuck up.
I was still like very courteous, and I'm just like, oh yeah, my day's great. Like I was very short with her, and she's like, so what are your big plans for the weekend? And then she pulls out the whisk and she goes, gonna do some bacon? And I'm like mortified, because then the Karen sees the whisk and then proceeds to go through her cart, and then she finally scans it, and I'm like, ha mine now. And then I turn to her and I just slowly give her the smuggiest look. Meanwhile, mom with child comes out, and then they quietly sneak out of the store. And then as I'm walking by, the manager walks by because she's like, something's fucking fishy. She opens up the door. The mom and the dad left the pee-stained jeans in the changing room.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And these are like the regular changing rooms, because those are closed off. These are like the special, like the ones that they put in the front of the store so that like people would have an option to change. And this manager was like, I'm so fucking done. Meanwhile, I'm cackling my ass off because I'm like, got the whisk. And that's not even, this is like a fucking Friday, and this shit happens all the time at this Ross. Like I have seen some crazy ass things happen at this Ross, but that was fucking wild.
This is how Elena somehow took a level in Rogue and wasn't aware.